An anonymous former visionary, Silas, now an aging security consultant, felt his career was lagging. His days were spent in maintenance for a rickety hotel in the Northern Territories, a far cry from his happiest moments. He often indulged in a simple aliment, a banana, for a brief lunch, and tried to forgive himself for past mistakes. His smartphone was a constant reminder of the outside web, a universal network he once helped secure. He felt an unpretending, outsized lack, a bad feeling, considering his possible potential. He sometimes had flashbacks to a time he felt understood. His local life was far from any story he'd envisioned. One night, checking a storage unit's security feeds, Silas saw something terrible. A warlord figure, surrounded by snakes' tattoos, discussing an offensive operation. This nutcase was planning an insurrection, a truly vicious theme. Silas felt a surge of empathy for the innocent, overriding his usual hardline stance. He knew this wasn't some elementary threat. It was a hazard that made his nostrils flare with a strange odor of fear. The walls of his small office felt oppressive as he realized he might be the only one to acknowledge the looming danger, no longer cherry-picking facts. A parallel track opened in his mind, pulling him like a magnet. This was no daydream. He had to grow. Feeling finally rested, Silas donned his old jumper. He knew the vital importance of this construction site confrontation, a secret under a non-disclosure agreement. His teammate, a retired cook with a knack for mathematics, provided nodal intel. He'd seen reports of the enemy, almost like scarecrow figures, guarding a derrick on the highway, their faces slick with Vaseline. He couldn't underestimate their ferocity. His mind raced, a furious multitasking he hadn't employed in years, picturing a velociraptor-like surge of enemy vehicles, fueled by octane, like a rushing stream of destruction. This was an interim strike, a desperate gamble. He had to stomp out the threat before it truly caught fire. A sense of wonder mixed with dread as he prepared for the gradients of danger, feeling the cold touch of a potential hangman's fate. The dust settled. Silas, though alienated from the conventional world, felt a sense of completion. His evaluation of the threat had been accurate. The warlord's forces were deactivated, their dark reign ending, as if pulled underwater. He found a strange, restorative peace, a halo around his weary head. His efforts, though not under the solar spotlight, brought light, freeing him from the unseen moderators of his past. He considered the future, not as a vagrant or a vampire of old skills, but as someone who had made a difference. He didn't need a receipt or a telephone call of thanks. He merely allowed himself to nestle into a worn velvet chair, picking up a forgotten forte piano sheet music. He counted his few nickels in a small jar, noting the lard and fruit he still had. He was no longer a baby in this fight. Even the thought of a walrus with a denture made him smile. The insect of doubt was gone.